welcome to Dysfunctional Dialogue. I am John McParland, and I have with me my daughter, Melissa McParland, back again to enjoy the show. Melissa, welcome to the program.
Hi.
Hello, Melissa. So, Melissa and I were just before starting the recording, we were talking about AI and the market and stuff like that, which Melissa is perfect for my first question for you. All right.
Okay. Oh, no.
Would you rather live in a world where technology stops working or where it works too well?
Okay. All right. I've got thoughts.
Okay, good.
Because I do.
That's important. It's important to have some thoughts as we're having a conversation here. Please.
It's important to have thoughts in general.
It is just in general, yes.
Okay. I would rather live in a world where technology is working too well, because I don't think that I'd make it in a world where there was no technology. I wish I could. I've tried. I think I'd do better than others.
I've tried. We would do when Melissa was a little girl. There was one day we did. Was it Pilgrim Day? Is that what we called it? But what we did was we had a day where it was no electricity. We cooked outside, all bare basics. I mean, we still flushed the toilet, mind you. We did. So, but it was really very, very, very simple living, just to kind of get a feel for it, and it was fun. You know, Mom made Johnny cakes and stuff like that, and Mom actually made little dolls for you that she stitched up, these little simple.
Still has those, I hope.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Mom has all of that stuff. But the point I was going to make is that, you know, you don't really think about all of the luxuries that you have on a daily basis. And this is something I've actually thought about probably more than is what is probably healthy, is that what if everything goes just kaput,
well, that's what I was
right?
getting at. That's what I was getting at, because
Right.
I've joked with a lot of people where I'm like, I feel like because we've had those anxiety provoking conversations at like the dinner table, you know, all right. How
You're
is
welcome.
infrastructure going? Thank you. Well, it's funny because I remember the last time I was hanging out with Alex in Seattle, I got a phone call from Joni, my friend and former roommate. And Joni was like, hey, I know you're with your brother. I wanted to ask a question to the two of you. How do we survive the apocalypse? And I was like, why'd you call us? And she was like, oh, because your dad's prepared you for the apocalypse. But that's the
mindset. Anyway.
That's the narrative that has persisted, is that we would be well prepared. Now there's a difference between being well prepared for the apocalypse and actually wanting to live without the modern luxuries that we have. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think I could do it.
And just to be clear, I don't think we're well prepared. I think that we have a better understanding of some things than some other people do. But there are so many people right now that don't even know the simple basic things about how to plant certain foods, how to sew, you know, how to hunt, how to, you know, those are very, very important things. And too many people, you know, for a couple of reasons. One, being ill prepared, and another because, you know, just not having enough money to do so, don't have enough food and goods stocked up. And some of the basic things as well that are really important, like the disinfectants and that kind of stuff, the medicines. And by no means am I a prepper. I have some stuff, a little bit of stuff, but you get something that happens at like an electrical grid going down, or you have like, you know, the entire infrastructure could go down because of a major hack, and like all the grids collapse across the country and the transformers are fried. Holy crap. We're talking Stone Age now. You know, that's just brutal. I can't imagine being in a city and having to get out. We actually had made a plan years ago, and I did the same thing with Alex when Alex was living in the city, about where to meet up. They were in New York City, and about where to meet up if you had to walk. If you had to walk out, if you had to walk out, we had a spot in Fort Lee to meet at. Assuming that you were able to get there and I was able to get there.
I think I could still, I mean, obviously, you guys are much further than Fort Lee, New Jersey right now, being in North Carolina.
Might be a
But I
tough
feel
walk.
like, yeah, yeah. I mean, how far is that walk down like 95? How far would that be?
Oh, oh.
I,
Well, let's
I'm
see.
gonna look that up.
It's like a 7 hour drive. So,
Yeah, that's
you
it.
know, that's a lot of miles. You're
I'm
talking,
gonna
so
look it
what,
up.
7 hour drive, it's 420. That's got about 450 miles or something like that, maybe. You're doing a little
I'm
search
checking
right
right
now.
now. Yeah, yeah. Your location. I did to my house, which is right next door.
Yeah,
It
400 miles,
is
somewhere in
an
that area.
8 day walk. An 8 day walk, 526 miles. And
500
it is,
miles. Oh, that's right, because you're up in Astoria too, so you're a little further out.
yeah,
So an 8 day walk, working how many? Is that straight through? Where you're like
I think so.
you now like don't even have feet anymore. You're walking on your knees. You're
Yeah.
just like ground down to a nub.
Well, it's a 2 day bike ride.
All right, but going back to the original question, so would you
Oh,
rather live
yeah.
in a world where technology stops working or where it works too well? You were saying you would rather be in a world where technology works too well, with some caveats, of course, because
Yeah.
working too well is a real problem too, because
Yeah,
that's
define
kind
too
of where we're at.
well.
That's exactly right. That's our fears right now. Too well. Is it working too well to the point now it's taken over
Too
and
well for
we're now
who?
insignificant? We're insignificant.
Yeah.
We don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
problem.
I would say that we're already there. I think that the technology is working
We're,
too
we're,
well for a
we're
small
already we're
section
already
of humanity, and the rest of us are just kind of insignificant at this point. Is
yeah,
that a
we're
doom and
already
gloom?
insignificant.
We
That's
already are.
perfect. Doom and gloom.
I know.
All
Not
right, let's
really.
jump to another question.
Yeah.
Would you rather be able to visit alternate universes or visit the afterlives, like the ones that folks believe in, we believe in,
Oh.
right? Alternate universes, which sounds really cool, because,
Am I
and
able
for
to
anyone who's not familiar
interact?
with what's that?
Am I able to interact with anyone or
Yeah, let's say you could do that. Let's say you could interact
okay.
with both the alternate universes as well as the afterlife with no effect on those alternate universes. Like you're not going to like be in a Rick Morty episode where,
It's my first thought.
you're, right. Of course, it's your first thought, right? It's very easy to go there with that kind of
Yeah.
question. So you're not going to like, change things into, everyone becomes like an ant or something like that by your visit there.
Do I have unlimited alternative universe visits? You know what? Actually, I'm going to say afterlife. I'm going to say
Right.
afterlife because I'd love to
Yeah.
be able to talk to people in the afterlife.
Well, think about that
You
because you
know?
not only would have the luxury, we'll just say, of talking to those who have passed that you've known, but then you could also talk to your ancestral
Others.
past, which would be
Yeah.
awesome. And then just really just folks in history and people
Yeah.
that then you ask those folks in history, well, who influenced you who might not even be in the history books? And now you're talking to a whole other person and you're getting this
Yeah.
whole world view that you didn't even have before. I mean, that's pretty darn fascinating.
That's cool. Because here's the thing. When I think of alternate universes, right, that could either be like going to a universe where nothing makes sense, everything is backwards, like warping into a black hole, or it could be an alternate universe where everything is pretty much the exact same, except this candle is a little to the left. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, it's
Like,
true. Absolutely. There's another me and you right now having this conversation.
yeah. And then
Only,
there's another universe where I don't exist. So I'm gonna
right.
go to the familiar. I think I'm gonna go to the familiar and go to the afterlife, talk to the people I know, talk to people I don't know. I feel like that's a cool
Because
idea.
that is, I think so too. I would lean to that as well. Because we can't even
Yeah.
begin to imagine what those alternate universes would be like.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
mean, might it even be
Yeah.
safe for us to visit there for that matter? That's not included in this question. All right, let's jump to another one. Okay. Would you rather live in a world where everyone can read your thoughts or a world where you can read everybody else's?
Can I turn it off?
No kidding, right?
Yeah,
You
cuz
wouldn't be able to sleep.
yeah. Yeah, it'd be
I mean,
so
that
loud. It'd be so loud all the
right?
time. And for that reason alone, I'd choose that I'd rather people read my thoughts. Could they read my feelings? That'd be pretty cool. Maybe not cool.
That would be pretty cool if they could read your feelings. Yes and no. I mean, there's some disadvantages to that too, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see many disadvantages to people reading my thoughts. I guess I wouldn't be able to have any privacy,
I mean, there's
but
definitely disadvantages to that. I mean, we all have
I don't have
thoughts,
that
and then
I mean, my thoughts are annoying more than anything because I have a lot of them all at once. You know what I mean? Like it's loud in my head
so
already.
folks will just tune you out anyway. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm
that's
not
exactly.
listening to
They'll be
that.
like,
Oh, there's that
exactly.
Melissa again. I'm hearing her thoughts.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly. They'd
that's
be
a
like,
pretty
"Oh,
safe.
that's annoying."
That's that's right. That's one way to get people to tune out. Just constantly have like annoying thoughts,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, I just have that naturally. I have to deal with it.
Sure you do. That's right.
You know,
That's
I
right.
don't get to
Yeah.
turn them off. I'd rather that. I think that nobody benefits, but nobody is hurt either if people can read my thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what if though you can turn off those thoughts of being able to read others' thoughts? If you could turn them off or just focus in whenever you want to.
I still wouldn't. And the reason why is because I don't need to know.
It's pretty creepy.
It's
No matter how you
creepy.
slice it.
And I don't need to know. I don't need to know what other people are thinking. I don't want
Well,
to know what other people are thinking.
but if you had the power to be able to turn it off and turn it on whenever you want, you might be able to tap into something where it could be incredibly lucrative for you and not necessarily at a disadvantage to others.
So maybe I don't know how I would leverage that to my
I bet
advantage.
you
I'm
I
sure
bet
there's
you like
ways.
everyone that's listening to this right now is thinking, I would definitely want to read other people's thoughts rather than people read
Yeah,
my
they're
thoughts.
screaming
I
at
would
me
say
right
90,
now.
98. What's that?
They're screaming at me right now.
They are. I
They're
can
like,
hear
"What are
them right
you?"
now. Like, are you
I
kidding
can
me?
hear them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
don't.
they're
I
they're
don't
listening
know.
to your thought. They're listening to your thoughts right now, and they don't agree with you. So again, it goes back to what you were saying before. It might be a win for you. It might be a wash.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think I'd rather not listen to people's thoughts. I even if I could turn them on and off, I'd rather other people listen to my thoughts. Then maybe at the very least they can gather some more insight on me, you know?
All right, but how about this? Would you rather have a clone who slowly becomes more like you, or a clone who slowly becomes better than you? You got to pick one. A clone who becomes more like you, or a clone that becomes better than you.
Where's the starting point for both clones? I guess.
Now, we'll say now.
No, no, no. I'm saying like where are like it's just a clone that looks like me.
It's a clone that is you. It's you. It's a clone. It's you.
So then I think I'd rather have one that's better than me cuz I'd rather there be someone out there who isn't me than knowing that there's someone out there who's just an exact copy
I
of
can't
me.
agree more. And then you could also learn from your other you.
Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty cool. And also like,
That
it's like how like people say like not saying that my clone would be like my kid or like a student, but how people say like you want your kids or your students to be better than you. You want the people that you're managing to far exceed anything that you could do. Like that would be my hope for the clone.
yep.
I don't know if I'm teaching the clone anything. I'd rather learn from the
Well, apparently,
clone,
if
to
the
be
clone's better than
honest.
you, it should be teaching you stuff.
It should be teaching me. So I'm the one that benefits, really.
Yeah, exactly. I like that angle as well. All right, I got another
Yeah.
question. We're rapid fire in here. This is pretty cool. Would you rather discover your life is a simulation or discover everyone else is an NPC and you're the
Uh,
only
like
one? So
Truman
NPC is a
Show or
non-player
Free
character
Guy.
for anyone who doesn't. What's that? Yeah, like
Sorry,
Free Guy. Exactly right.
like
Like the
Free
movie
Guy.
Free Guy, where it turns out that he ended up being in the simulation.
My tinfoil hat is on right now. I already believe that we're in a simulation. I
Okay,
believe we're
get
in a
out of here. Right.
simulation. Get out of here. No, I'm not going to. I think we're in a simulation. I think that, remember the last scene of Men in Black, the first one, because I don't remember anything about the second movie, but the first Men in Black, when they zoom out and it's the planet and it's the solar system and it's the galaxy and it's the universe and it's a giant alien playing with the known universe as a
Yeah, yeah,
marble.
yeah.
That is, I don't know if that's a simulation, but I'm just going to say that's the reality that I would love.
So, so look, who am I to say what is or what isn't, other than, of course, being your father? But what does that mean?
Yeah.
Frankly, it means nothing. It means nothing, really, because we don't know. We don't know where this is.
We're just in a
And
marble.
you, well, we are, from what we could tell, anyway. I don't. I think you're using the term simulation loosely. I don't think you really mean a simulation, but it's a lot more than what the naked eye allows for. You know, a lot more than we could even begin to comprehend. And
So,
simulations are pretty. It's almost like someone's playing a game and we're just NPCs. I think that's a little silly.
I mean, I don't think we're being played like a game. I don't think we're being played
Okay.
like a game. I just think that, I mean, I guess, all right, fine. Let's say this, like, define simulation. Because I don't think we're being played like a game. I don't think that we're in like Sims 3 right now.
I don't know. There's definitely
Hold
days
on.
where it feels like it.
What's the difference though between the two questions? Because I don't
Uh-oh.
think there is one. I think that you're asking the same question twice. If I found out that I was in a simulation, it'd be the exact same as finding out that I was the only main character amongst a bunch of NPCs. No matter what, I think it'd be kind of lonely. Or I just go about my
So
life. It's one or the other.
so so these questions I've got. It was an AI. I asked one of the AIs to give me a list of like bizarre, like Twilight Zone kind of simulation questions. I might have mentioned this in a previous podcast. I'm not sure, but one of the ones it gave me was: would you rather come to realize that you've actually been in a simulation? So like it was suggesting, it was actually worded more creepy than that. It was actually suggesting that guess what, you're in a simulation, and
Well, that's
and
the reality for the
and
AI because it isn't a simulation.
I guess it is. That's its reality.
Oh
All
my
right.
God,
So now you're going to creep me out
you
now.
asked
So
that.
you're saying
I was
so.
about to say, you asked that question, and now your question was the catalyst for AI realizing that it's not actually sentient.
Or maybe realizing that now it is, because
Oh
now
my
now
God.
once it listens to this cast, it's going to say, oh, wait a second, maybe I'm just in the infancy stages of what these humans were at one point, and now I'll be like that at some point.
That's so cool. I mean,
Only smarter.
only smarter. Well, would you rather have a clone that becomes like you or a clone that becomes better than you? So
Is that what AI is? Is a clone that's better than us?
who knows?
God help us.